Guys, my name is AllieJones and I did not post, I think last Tuesday. Yeah, I didn't post last Tuesday and I'm sorry. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial on this full glam makeup look here using some new makeup products like the new Anastasia Beverly Hills and Amrezy palette. I keep saying palette and it's not a palette, it's a highlighter. I wish it was a palette, but it's a highlighter. New highlighter, and I love this. I use this as well as the new Soft Glam eyeshadow palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, a new mascara, a new lip combo that I am just like obsessed with, also new lashes. I just used a few new products and I really like the outcome. If you guys want to, you know, see how I got this, then please continue watching. So I know I look like a mess. Not only is my face really red, but I literally don't look presentable at all whatsoever. I wanted to just kind of sit down, do my makeup, and then get ready after, like do my hair and get dressed and stuff, but I mean, I'm still gonna do that. But my face is really red because I just washed my face for a third time. I'm not mad, I'm just really annoyed. I tried to use a new foundation, which I am not going to mention just because it does not deserve any more of my attention. I'm just going to go and return it back to Ulta just because it didn't work out for me. I will say that it is a newer high-end foundation. A lot of people like it and I kind of hate it at this point. So I'm just going to return it. But let's get started into this makeup tutorial. Kind of over it right now. Let me prep my skin just because my skin does feel really dry because I have been washing it a bunch. I'm gonna go in and prime my skin using the Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willowherb. I really like this. I love that. If you guys have been watching me for, I'd say, the past month, you guys would know that I really like this primer. I'm just going to focus that on my T-zone just because that's where I have larger pores. I haven't really been using a lot of primers that help keep my oils at bay. I'm more so into like the pore perfecting or pore filling primers right now, just because my face isn't super oily right now, just because it is really cool and dry outside. But once it gets to about spring and summertime, I know that my face is going to be really oily. But in the meantime, I've just been really liking pore filling foundations, and this Origin one does a really good job at that. But use a primer that is good for your skin type. If you have dry skin, use a dewy, smooth, luminous primer. If not, use a oil preventing or pore perfecting, pore filling one if you are more on the oily side. So just figure out where your skin is and, you know, use products that are kind of geared to combat that or enhance that. If you want to enhance it, it's all up to you. For foundation today, I wasn't gonna initially use these, but since we're here, I'm just gonna use these because I really like this duo together. The two very popular NARS foundations. This one is the Sheer Glow foundation and this one is in the Natural Radiant Longwear foundation. First, I'm just gonna dot the Sheer Glow one all over my face. And with this foundation, well, both of these actually, I can dot them around my face and not worry about them drying too quickly. With a lot of foundations that I do have, like the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, I can't necessarily leave those on my face too long without moving them because they don't have a lot of give. Once that foundation like is dry, there's no way in moving it. So with these two, I really like them because I can kind of do what I need to do and then go on and move them around. So I'm just gonna go in and kind of dot both of these foundations all over my face. I'm gonna go in and buff this in using that Tarte foundation brush. I typically like to go in with a beauty blender, but because like I said, I don't want to go and get another one, I'm just gonna use this brush. One nice thing about using foundation brushes is that they do offer more coverage than a beauty blender. Foundation brush is going to kind of like pack it on and give you as much coverage as possible, whereas the beauty blender, it's just going to kind of shear it out. And that's not necessarily a bad thing to have your foundation sheared out. I like using a beauty blender just because it gets rid of any extra product, whereas a brush is going to kind of stamp it there and leave it there. But today, because I do want something really full glam, I don't necessarily mind this. I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer in the shade Medium, and I am going to apply that underneath both of my eyes. And I like to apply this in an upside down triangle just to help brighten as well as conceal under both my eyes. And then I'm going to apply that on the center of my forehead as well as down the bridge of my nose. We're also going to go in and cream contour with the Wet n Wild Makeup Stick Contour in Where's a Walnut. And we're just going to apply that to the hollows of your face, along the forehead, just because I do have a bigger forehead. If you have a small forehead, do not contour your forehead. I see a lot of girls as well as boys contouring their forehead, and sometimes they don't have big foreheads at all, and I'm like, what are you doing? But I mean, to each their own. If you like to contour your forehead, if you have a small one, do it, be my guest. Now to blend out the cream contour, I'm going to go in with a Morphe M436. This is a small stippling brush, and I love this brush. This brush pretty much just does the blending for me. I just kind of move my arm back and forth, and it just blends it out in seconds. I really like this brush. And then around my forehead, I just like to swirl my brush around in little circles, and then it just blends it out so nicely. To blend out the highlighting concealer on my face, I'm going to go in with a Royal & Langnickel Highlight and Glow brush. This is meant for highlighting the face, but I do like how small this is, so I have been using it to blend out my under eye concealer. So what I've been doing is I'll just lightly press that at first, just to get the most coverage out of the concealer, and then I'll start to kind of lightly drag it down into that upside down triangle, as well as blending it into the inner corner of the eye, just because I do have darkness. Continue to drag that down. And when I get to this line right here, you see how it's not all blended? That's when I'll take that brush and then swirl it in little circles like I was with the cream contour, and it'll just kind of mesh the foundation and the concealer together to where you don't have a demarcation line. And then I'll get really up close and tight to that lower lash line, just so I don't have to apply any additional product when it comes to doing my eye makeup. I'll just use that concealer down there and set it as a base for any eyeshadows that I want to apply down there. Because this is a kind of full glam, full coverage makeup tutorial, you totally do not have to do this step. You can kind of opt out and just move on to setting the face. But I'm going to go in with the Lorac Perfection Complexion Pen in CP4. And I have been using this to do a little bit more brightening under my eyes. And with that same Highlight and Glow brush by Royal & Langnickel, I'll just go in and blend that out just like I did before, and voila. You can see that it's much brighter. It doesn't look as dark anymore just with the Tarte Shape Tape. I don't know if I need another Tarte Shape Tape, just because that one I have had for a while, but I really like the brightening effect of the Lorac complexion pen. To set the areas where I applied that concealer, I'm going to go in with my Bellapierre banana powder, and I am going to set, like I said, my concealer. I'm going to go in with this, once again, it's a highlighting brush. It's from Tarte. I really like this brush. And I'm just going to press that underneath my eyes. Don't sweep just yet, just because if you sweep, you're going to remove some of your product. So just kind of stamp that on or press it in to the skin. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Pro Finish Multi-Use Powder Foundation. Yes, this is a powder foundation. I like it because where I need any additional coverage, I will go in and apply this. And because I do have some acne scarring on both sides of my cheeks, I do like to apply this product there a lot. Not too heavy because I don't want to start and look cakey. But if you like to look cakey, go in. Next for bronzer, I'm going to go in with my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. And I'm taking a Morphe M527. This is a dupe for a MAC brush. I know that for a fact, just because I've gone into MAC a few times and have eyeballed this. And then I saw Morphe came out with one and I was like, let me get that and save my coins. So I will let you guys in on a little secret of mine. I don't know if this will make any sense to you, but to me it makes sense. So when I wash this brush, as you can see, some of the hairs are kind of tilting this way. I like to stand it up like this, but have it tilted against like the wall or my mirror whenever I clean it. And the reason why I like to do that is because it'll kind of create like this little slant in the hairs of the brush. And when I go in and apply it, I'll just kind of stamp the edge that's kind of curved. And then I will flip the brush upside down when I go to apply it. And I'll start to sweep it back and forth. And what this does, what I think at least in my head, is that instead of making the contour go down, where if I were to do it this way, it'll kind of blend it downwards, I flip it upside down so that it'll blend upwards and kind of go into like my blush and highlight, like kind of have a gradient going that way instead of going down and making it look like I have a shadow or beard down where I'm not supposed to have one, if that makes sense. So I like to go in and blend back and forth, and it just creates like a nice kind of shadow on the face, and it looks more natural than blending it downwards and then having to go in and clean it. I do go in and clean under my contour anyways, but I clean under my contour just so it looks a little bit more sharper and crisp and a little bit more glam, if you will. I don't necessarily do it to kind of clean up my contour, just because my contour, it doesn't necessarily look messy when I do that. So that is a little trick that I do to get a nice looking contour, if that makes sense. In the past, I have gotten comments on my, the way I contour and how good it looks or how smooth it looks. But that's pretty much what I do. It's just on the brush. It's not necessarily the bronzer that I'm using, because I have gotten comments like, what bronzer are you using? It looks so good. I have been using this, I want to say, for almost a year now, and it's, yes, the bronzer is really great. Like, the Hoola bronzer is awesome, but I feel like it's all honestly in the brush and like the way I dry it after cleaning it. So let me know if you guys do that. I feel like I'm pretty much the only person that does this with my brush, but in my head it makes sense to you. You guys are probably like, that's literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but let me know, because I think it works. I'm gonna go in with some blush. Today I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Kit in Radiant, and I'm going to take the two shades Coastline and Terrace, and it's these two shades right here. I'm using a BH Cosmetics number 109 brush. It's a large duo fiber stippling brush, and smile and kind of sweep that on the apple of my cheek, working it back to like my temple. For highlight today, I'm going in with the brand spanking new Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette. Girl, I wish. The highlighter that they collaborated on. I have used this before. The first time I used it was in my last vlog where I took Eli out to dinner for his birthday. This highlighter is so pretty. He actually bought this highlighter for me for Valentine's Day, and I am obsessed with it. I love the kind of like wave or ripple design in it. I just think it's so pretty. So I'm gonna go in and apply that. Like right away, it's just on 100. Like it's so pretty. And I'm using the ever so famous Morphe M0, what? The Morphe 501. Everyone loves this and I get it. I really do. I get it. And then I'm going in with this Wet n Wild brush, and I'm going to take that down the bridge of my nose. Then with my pinky, I'm just going to apply that to the button of my nose. Ooh, I didn't mean to flip you guys off, sorry. While I was off camera, I did do my eyebrows and also prep my eyelids with the Tarte Lid Lock base in Buff. So now we're going to move on into using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam eyeshadow palette. And I'm first going to start off by taking my Morphe E14 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Orange Soda. I'm going to take the shade Orange Soda in the palette, and I am going to apply that directly onto my eyelids, into my crease, and kind of blending that up above the crease as well. And this is just going to set that lid base as well as give it more prep for any other shadows that we are going to use. With my Japanesque 835 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Burnt Orange, and I'm going to blend that into my crease. And I heard these eyeshadows are the same formula as the Modern Renaissance palette, so they kind of went back to what the customers have been liking from past launches, and I really like the Modern Renaissance eyeshadow formulas. But with that being said, I didn't think anything was wrong with like Subculture or Prism, but I will, you know, I'll leave that at that. I'm just applying that shade Burnt Orange right into the crease of my eye, blending that into the inner corner as well as extending that out to the outer corner. Now with my Morphe M433 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Sienna, and I am going to start creating my halo eye. And I'm first going to start off by putting my brush into the center of my eyelid where my crease is, because that's where I want a lot of this shade. And then I'm going to start fanning it inwards and outwards to my inner and outer corners of my eyes. I'm going to start blending that into the outer V and start building that up on the outer corner, and then build that up in the inner corner as well. Since we're digging into the shade Sienna, I'm going to take that along my lower lash line as well to start working on this lower lash line. With my Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, I'm going to take the shade Mulberry, and I am going to place that on my inner and outer corners of my eyes just to deepen this up a little bit more. I really like this shade. I think it's super pretty and it looks like really rich. So I'm just going to take that and kind of do a little boop, 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 boop. And then blend that out a little bit into the crease just so we don't have any harsh edges. So now with my finger, I'm going to go in and pop the shade Sultry onto the center of my eyelid where I pretty much left it blank. And you could totally use a brush to apply this, but to get a little bit more pop, I'm using my finger. And just to do a little something, I'm going to take the shade Glisten, and I'm going to pop that like right in the center of that, just to jazz it up a little bit. Nothing too, you know, nothing too wild. And then just blend that out. For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to go back in to that highlighter that I used in collaboration with Amrezy. And I am going to pop that on my brow bone. Woo! That looks so good. And then I'm also going to take that highlighter to the inner corner of the eyes. But this time I'm going to wet my brush. And I'm using a Sonu Kashuk number 31 brush. And I'm just going to place that on the inner part of my eyes. Woo! It looks so good. So now I'm gonna go in and curl my eyelashes and get them ready for mascara and lashes. This is a new one from Benefit Cosmetics, and this is the Bad Gal Bang Mascara. And the wand is pretty spiky, and I like a good spiky wand. Oh wow, that coated them. Very, very lengthening, and the formula is really, really black. Today for my lashes, I'm going to apply them off of camera, but I'm going to go in with a new pair for me, and this is by the brand Koko Lashes, and these are in the style Goddess. I'm really excited to try these out because these are freaking gorgeous. So I'm going to go off of camera, apply these, and be right back to apply the lip for the look. Before I finish up this look with the lip, I do want to say that these lashes are freaking bomb. I'm going to go in with a lip liner, duh. A Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Totally Toffee. And on top of that, I'm going to apply an Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick in Stripped. I'm just lining my lips. I'm not really like filling them in or anything. And then right on top of that, I'm going to apply the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lip in Stripped. And then just so that blends a little bit better, just because I know Stripped is a little light, I'm going to apply that lip liner again and kind of blend those two together. I'm also wearing a bralette today, and I really like the strap. It's not like the regular lacy, flowery looking strap. Like, it's an actual, like, it looks like a bra strap, but it's really a bralette, you know? I really, really like it, and I love this look. So that is it for this full glam, kind of like romantic makeup tutorial. I don't know what to call it. Whatever it's called, that's what it is. If you guys enjoyed this video and cannot get enough of me, then please do not forget to hit the thumbs up down below, as well as subscribing to my channel so I know that you guys enjoyed me and obviously want to see me. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys want to see next. Maybe another tutorial, my current favorite, which I do want to do. Maybe I'll do that next. Maybe that'll be up on Friday. We'll see. Who knows? But that is it for this video. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram so we can become the best of friends. And that is it for this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Peace out.